On the Hour knows where it is and how to get there by taxi.
Know your globe again, and while On the Hour has been boosting nature awareness for Radio 4 listeners, other BBC radio programmes have been doing their bit too, like Radio 1's Wayne Carr in the afternoon.
Radio Wayne FM. Wayne Carr in the afternoon. Wayne Carr in the afternoon.
Just brilliant. Okay, and time now for a chinny wag.
Chinny wag, chinny wag, chinny wag, chin.
Everybody here in the chinny wag chapter, yeah? And the subject for today is endangered animals. Yeah. Okay, it's a subject with just a lot of stuff and everything in it, because they're like real animals, only they're a bit endangered, and they're increasing in number every day. Just what do you reckon? Okay, Sparky?
Well, I think it's good news, really. I mean, if the numbers are going up all the time... then there'll soon be enough of them to get them off the danger list, won't there? Hey?
Good point. Yeah, good point. Okay, good point. And what about you, Potato Man? Yeah. Right, okay. Good point. Yeah, good point. Well made. And what about you, Romford? Just what is an animal?
Well, you've asked a question there, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
What is an animal?
Question.
According to my girlfriend, I am. Hey?
Bit of satire. Okay. What do you reckon, Wendy the Pencil? Is a crocodile an animal?
No,
It's
because
just-
it's long and it's sort of hard.
So what is it?
Well, a crocodile
Yeah.
is a vegetable.
Vegetable? A vegetable?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sort of green and brown. You know, it's not animal colour.
Not animal colour. Yeah, animals are animal colour and a crocodile is green.
That's right.
Yeah.
So green,
Yeah.
not the animal colour.
Not animal colour. Yeah, good point. And do you know what I reckon? Piece of factimation for you. I reckon that endangered animals are not really endangered at all. They're just hiding. Think about it. It's just a way of calling attention to themselves at the expense of other so-called common animals like sparrows and chickens. Yeah, okay. I say, shoot a panda, save a chicken. Yeah, okay. Chinny wag.
On the Hour, equal doses of fact and whale saving. Now, as you probably know, On the Hour celebrates its 33rd anniversary this year, and that means 396 months of brilliance. We've ransacked the archive for highlights of 1959, the year in which Britain first woke up to a brand new sound in wireless.
This is the BBC Home Service.
On the hour. News.
Let me make it quite clear.
I am a very humble man.
On the hour.
In the months and the years that lie ahead.
Spotlight on takeover bids.
On the hour. Regular briefings.
I know that there are many people who agree with me about all this.
Yes, I can well remember the years between the wars.
On the hour. In the home service of the BBC. Hello to you. Good evening. The news be with you. Features in depth presently, but first today's particularly important stories reduced to sentence-long summaries. A reservoir filling operation has run into difficulties in the Midlands because of a protest by local sheep who are setting themselves on fire. It now looks certain that the northern town of Lancaster has unfortunately been destroyed by a lorry. The Minister for Building has announced his new plans will be characterised by a brisk, refreshing style, quite free from the depressing legacy of rationing and the destructive influence of bebop jazz. And the escaped lunatic who's been leering at office workers in a distracting way has finally been lassoed by the police and fed to the leopards at Colchester Zoo. But first, today's main news item. Reporters with microphones have been allowed for the very first time behind doors at the royal family's dentist. Today it was the turn of young Princess Anne. Our man Roger Mules was there to watch.
Oh, what a horrible sight. The water washing the whole side now. She got a weight of water in there, tons and tons of water, and you saw her drag right down, and I thought, anyway, she's just going to continue this roll and turn right over. But the water drained off, she shook herself and came up just a few degrees.
On the hour. News for you too, Daddy-O.
Even in its infancy, On the Hour was developing a formula which included not only news, but a wealth of feature material which was to become the basis of a magazine programme with a very broad brief.
And now it's time for Slate Desk. Come in, Clough Williams-Ellis. Today, slates.
I think it's very nice to have a variegated size of slate for a roof. One slate I cannot bear personally is the large, smooth, purple slate.
Clough Williams-Ellis, our Slate expert, who'll be back with more slates on Slate Desk at the same time tomorrow. On the Hour, bristles with news for the listener at home.
But it was in the field of hard news that On the Hour really made its mark. Less than 6 months after going on air, On the Hour actually created news when Richard Leering, the then junior Treasury Minister, resigned following this exchange.
I don't listen to polls, I don't look at polls, I speak with people. I'm not prepared to be pushed around by a scullion such as yourself, who has no real knowledge of economics, or indeed in the thick of government, which is where I am negotiating.
Well, Minister, I wouldn't exactly
right.
say you're in the thick of government. You're not a member of the cabinet yourself. You're a junior Treasury Minister.
I'm a junior Treasury Minister, but however, I'm heavily involved in the day-to-day planning and execution.
Well, technically, you're
matters.
not. In fact, the civil servants do the planning and the execution. You merely deliver a speech in the House of Commons. What is your position?
You're conducting the interview. I'm responding to your questions, sir. And if you don't let me have my say and articulate myself as well I might, then, quite frankly, arse to you.
And that's the word you're using, is it?
Is
that the word that sums up your position, Minister?
Arse,
and
no.
That's where you want to leave
I'll go further. Big arse.
I see. And how much further can you go than that, Minister? Or is that the furthest you wish to go down this particular road? Yes, I will press you, Minister.
3 big asses on a bench.
I don't think that's enough for the general public. This is an extremely important issue, and if that's the kind of position the government wishes to adopt...
3 big asses on a bench?
Just 3, then, is it?
Drainpipe hipsters. I'm sorry.
On the Hour, at the forefront of communications wireless.
Well, that was then, but this is now. And just time to let you know that there's a build-up of heavy traffic on the M4 westbound at junction 12 as the hangar gyratory system is being towed to Malmesbury this afternoon. And now for today's business news, here's Niels Blythe.
Well, the stock market's pretty mixed this morning. The 100-share index up 618 million, 20.288.4, 21,356. The ex-Building Society, Abbey National, report profits last year of £17, which means they're now Britain's second biggest bank. Provisions for bad drugs were nearly trebled at £155 million. Fison's report profits down 618 million% after being forced to withdraw Louise Botting from the American market because the US authorities were unhappy with production quality. On the foreign exchanges, the pound down 0.6% at one German Pfennig, 4.5, but sterling up at £72 million, 21,052.
On the Hour, Rich Pickings at the Media Events Interface.
Back now to our main news item. The trial of mass murderer Daimler Jeffries continues to dominate the news in the United States. CBN's Barbara Wintergreen has filed this report, which is being played in on a blue reel, and that's how we know it's American.
As the trial judge, I have the responsibility to decide which laws apply to this case and to explain.
Judge Marion Hartman addresses the jury in the latest TV trial to grip America. But it's not 12 good men and true she's talking to. It's 14 million cable network viewers who each will be making an instant push-button judgment, because this is the age of jury TV, the brainchild of convicted mass murderer Daimler Jeffries.
I was just lying in bed real bored on death row. I just thought, what would I really like to watch on TV if I had a TV? I'd like to watch justice.
So, Daimler, what's the big idea?
The big idea. Big idea is we televise my trial. We're going to have the old electric chair rigged up in the courtroom, and then we get a phone-in vote. The viewers, be about 14 million of them. They can just decide whether I'm innocent or guilty.
And what happens if they vote against you?
They turn the electric chair on.
Votecution TV producer Brian Egelham is in charge of the televised death vote.
All the viewers have to do is, at the end of the trial, they have a choice of 2 numbers. The first one, 09278, if they want him to be free, and the second one, 09279, if they want him to be fried. Then the computer calculates the total number of calls for each number. Well, if it's fry, then the current is automatically connected, and he fries.
Have you had any opposition from moral groups?
Not that has actually reached me beyond my secretary, no.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the scheme. That excited like a pig on smack, and sold the rights to 13 cable networks and got an option on a further 10 trials. Hopefully they'll involve me too.
You've heard the evidence, citizens of America. Would you vote now, please?
As Daimler Jeffries sees all hope of a retrial go up in smoke, it looks as if this is a primetime drama that's going to keep at least one viewer glued to his seat. Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News, Milwaukee Court Studios.
Fab. Back now to Know Your Globe. And the environmentalist Sir Lupus Kurtzsturgeon today launches his appeal to save the rhino. With this report from Here's Nick Watkins.
Sir Lupus Kurtzsturgeon claims the future of the rhinoceros depends on reversing a trend of disregard for the animal, which has been going on for years.
Extensive research from our centre based in Mogadishu has shown that most rhino deaths are caused by the cruel native habit of forcing them up trees to look for berries. When the heavy animals reach the thin branches where the berries grow, the branches snap, and they simply fall and tumble to an horrific death on the ground below. We feel that the killing must stop immediately because rhinos are badly needed by the aphrodisiac trade.
The natives, how will you stop them?
Well, obviously, we're going to be giving these people a bloody good kicking. But we've also planned on a more subtle, persuasive system, using drawings depicting rhinoceros on the ground, smiling, and a series of cassette tapes containing the subliminal message, stop driving that rhino up a tree, his fall and death will shame your people.
On the hour. Still drives cars? Yes. But is aware of the damage they cause, and would gladly sell them tomorrow if a realistic alternative could be found. And that's the point. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate moment to join Monsignor Trebe Lopez for his thought for the day. Monsignor, any sign of any hope at all in what's going on in the world at the moment?
If a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, then how much greater is the worth of the Lord Jesus? It is 3.